Yo guys, what's up? I just wanted to come live here just for a bit of a follow-up to the previous video, just talking about the whole Star Wars theory and Den of Nerds thing and the whole breakup of nerd theory. Basically, today, well, should I say last night, because again, I'm in Ireland, so the time zones, I only kind of caught up on all this today, but last night, Theory had Rule of Three. He kind of addressed a lot of stuff, a lot more kind of head on, and went into a lot more details. Um, Honestly, it's not making Josh look good. I don't really know what to say. Theory just really wasn't into it. Now, I don't know if what he's saying is a kind of reaction of how Josh has been treating the situation. And Josh today has even gone further and made it a bit more of a joke. He's putting stuff up on Twitter, like, videos of, or photo, like, doctored photographs of him and Billy Bobby Brown, like literally, or Millie Bobby Brown, should I say, literally ripping the piss out of that whole situation with them, which just, I don't know, it's bad taste and it's kind of childish in my opinion. Like, again, massive Josh fan, massive Theory fan, hate the fact that they're fighting, hate the fact that they've broken up and no longer going to do the show. But basically, Rule of Three came on. The two guys who are with Theory are just kind of ripping the piss out of Josh, which again, I'm not really too fond of either. But, with how Josh is acting to the whole situation, I'm kind of not surprised at the same time. Because, you know, like, if Josh is going to rip the piss, I suppose they're going to rip the piss too. But, I don't know. I hate the whole situation. I don't want to really. I'm trying not to take sides, but it's tough. It's tough to watch. I like the two of them. I think they had a great chemistry, and I think they had a great show together. I really think that they should try and. Well, sorry. After this, now what I'm going to play in a minute, I'll kind of show you what Theory's kind of been saying. But before this, I would have thought like maybe they can talk and work it out. But now I'm kind of thinking it's definitely a lost cause with some of the stuff that Theory's been saying at the start of this video. It's quite shocking, honestly. If it's true, if what he's saying is true, it's quite shocking. Check it out.
Welcome
What's going on?
to a Rule of Three Thursday. I hope everyone's doing well.
They pretty much go straight
Everyone's
into it.
ready for the stream.
I'm not even going to skip anything because I'm pretty sure they go straight into it.
I'm so ready.
Just let me know when we're live, dude.
This is kind of sad.
My deposit just cleared. $1,000 a stream. Absolutely great investment. I'm going to bring it. I promise you I'm going to bring it. I'm going to make it worth it. No matter how much super chats we get, it doesn't matter, man. Because you paid that money. It's worth my time now. Thank you.
Only money.
We're live, by the way. We're live.
Oh, hi. Hi, God. No.
I'm loving all the Watto stuff. I think that's pretty funny. Again, I'm into humor, dark or otherwise, and there's a lot of kind of Jew bashing and stuff of Josh. I don't even know what his religion is. It's irrelevant, but it's funny. The whole Watto thing, I think it's well known in Star Wars that Watto is kind of like a Jewish stereotype. So I'm finding that bit quite funny. It is what it is. If Josh has got to be able to take it if he's dishing it out, So
in all seriousnly, I miss
like the
Sorry, I
guys.
was away for a little bit.
The guys literally go into it pretty much straight away.
Wow.
Yeah.
$500 a question.
Right, here we go. I think he's going to just talk about it.
You better not be trying to sneak any 99-cent one in. We
know
don't
why
read
the
that. It's got to be
chat's not-
whatever the hell the limit is.
Can you get 500? I don't know, man. Do you bring the noise? Do you bring the fire, bro? I don't know.
I'll do my research, bro.
You gonna react to all the things Josh said on his stream? I didn't watch Josh's stream. I don't watch his videos.
Ow. So that was the first thing that I heard, and I was like, okay, that's a blow, because I would like to think that the two of them are friends and they support each other. Because I know before this whole situation, I know that Josh would watch Theory's videos. He's always commented on how cool it is that he gets to do all the stuff with the conventions and everything like that. It kind of sucks that Josh is Theory's now saying that he doesn't even watch Josh's videos. That was the first blow.
I can give you a breakdown. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, this is a terrible fucking breakdown, by the way.
In essence, and I'm not even shit talking. He said, in essence, I'm worth more than 500. But like in a Mike Tyson pumped up fashion, where he was saying, I hope people downplay my talent. I'm the greatest. My style is amazing. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. Like this pre kind of match hype up thing where he was just shit talking, and he's like, better make it worth my time or I'm out because I just don't care. And I was like, I've never seen someone in Australia. If you're not humble, you get your ass kicked. So I've never seen somebody so just pumping themselves up so much and it not.
And just to kind of address this, because he technically, Josh did say some of these things and we kind of talked about it or went over it on the last video, but that's a bit of a shit summary, to be fair. But Josh values his time. He does put a lot of effort, or he has in the last couple of weeks anyway, put a lot of effort into prepping for the show. Now, whether that's worth $500 or not, I think is a bit outrageous. Again, I don't know what the monetization numbers are like on these guys' channels. Is Josh making 20 grand a week on his channel? I maybe he is, maybe he's not, maybe he's making fucking 1,000 a week. I don't even know. But to ask for $500 for a stream seems a bit bonkers. Like, from what I've kind of heard from other people, Geeks and Gamers jumped in on it, and so, a bunch of people are saying, $500 is absolutely outrageous. And some of these guys go on some of the biggest YouTube podcasts in the space, and they don't get paid at all. You know what I mean? And I've always kind of had that, mindset myself. I would be honored to be on this show. Obviously, do you know what I mean? It would help my channels grow immensely, and I would be forever, eternally grateful for the opportunity, and I would never ask for a dime. I wouldn't even want any of the super chats. I'd just be happy to be getting subscribers and viewers on my videos and stuff. That'd be payment enough, and I think they mentioned this in this video as well. And they're dead right. I fully agree. And the numbers are out there. You can go and look at the history of Josh's channels. After he started going on Nerd Theory, his channels exploded in subscriber count, and I'm sure that led to other opportunities like sponsorships and stuff like that. I don't agree with Josh's decision on this. I think, yes, of course, his time is worth money, but at the same time, it's not worth burning a bridge over what could be peanuts, in all fairness. If Josh is making $1,000 a day on his channel and all his revenue on all of his channels, what's $500 to do a couple of hours? If he's not seeing return on investment of his time that he's putting into all these videos, why doesn't he just not prep for the show? Just go live and they just sit there and answer super chats. Do what he claims Theory does, not going on, not giving a fuck. I again, and I'll say this till my face is red. They should not have returned the show on a weekly basis, especially at this time of the year. If they waited for Ahsoka Season 2 to drop and they came back on a weekly basis, I'd be like, yeah, this is perfect. There's new content to talk about every year. He would be busy on Mondays talking with Josh about Ahsoka, and then he'd come on to this show on Thursdays, and he'd probably have the same conversation again, or, whatever. I think, yes, weekly content at that stage is perfect. But there's nothing really happening in Star Wars right now, and for them to come on a weekly basis and sit there for 3, 4, 5 hours, I'm sure it's boring. And I'm sure they're, I know they're obviously thankful for everybody giving them all their super chats and all the money and everything, but, I'd say that gets boring after a time. And I know that Josh has talked about it in the past, where it's they need to find out a way to manage how they're dealing with all these super chats, because obviously you want to acknowledge the people that are donating money to you, of course, but, you can't sit there for 5 hours a day just answering questions, because me as a viewer, I hardly view into that part of the show. Maybe I watch the first 10 or 20 and then I'm done. I've had enough and I just can't listen to them anymore. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what they feel like having to sit there and go through them. Of course, it's probably great getting all the money, but I can understand why someone like Theory, who probably makes 20 grand a week anyway, he probably doesn't really want to sit there and have to answer tons and tons and tons of questions. Some of them so fucking stupid and mind numbing that you're you got to acknowledge somebody dropping a $10 donation, but it's they're asking nothing but nonsense. I can only imagine how ridiculous it is. I don't know, man. It's tough.
Me, you know what? Let's
Josh,
out of
again,
the show by having
your man. What's this guy's name? I don't even know this guy's name. I probably should know their names. I think this guy's name's Badger and this guy's Dale or something. These two guys do not like Josh. And I got the feeling, and I knew this straight away, you could see the energy completely change that time when he brought Josh onto this show. and they announced that it was coming back, these two boys looked like someone shat in their cereal. Like they were fuming, you could tell. And, you know, it's just like, oh shit, like, you know, the real show's back. But and I kind of felt sorry for them, and I think now that they're just taking shots for the fucking sake of it, like, you know. And it's kind of childish in my opinion. And, you know, I'm not saying Josh isn't doing childish shit either. Like I think all of them are kind of letting this get the best of them. I know Thierry kind of talks about how he wants things to just blow over. He just, you know, wishes Josh the best and on with it. And Thierry has a couple of lines where he talks about how, you know, it's like, I don't like airing my business. And I would be fully the same. I would never, if I had a dispute with somebody, I would never be airing it publicly. That's just not the person that I am. And I don't know if it's just different upbringings, or, you know, I don't know, like different parts of the world, you're kind of just different. You know, I don't get it. And, you know, I see so many people just airing shit out on Twitter and on Discord and all this shit, and it's just like, bro, like, you know, have a private conversation with somebody, and if you have a disagreement, that's it, let it go. Simple as.
Josh had maybe like 10,000 or 15,000 subscribers at the time.
So I just want to watch this bit here.
If we're all gonna eat, we're all gonna eat.
Where he talks about
for anybody.
basically
Obviously,
the main bit, and then
I don't want to
we'll let it
undercut
go.
you
I don't
because
really want to
people
be.
have turned.
Again, I hate making content like this, and you know, this channel that you're probably watching this on, it's a small channel, it's a live streaming channel. We kind of do what these guys do. I do it with a friend of mine, Alex, who's on the channel here. We kind of just talk about all the new stuff that comes out, and we just have fun. You know, I'm not really into making drama content like this, but I thought I'd put this first video up because I have a good few people from Josh's community who are part of my community now. And you know, a few people were asking me about it, and I just thought I'd put it into a video and put it out there so that they can watch it, so I'm not getting hounded with questions on my own live stream. So this probably, most likely, will be the last time I even talk about this. You know, you'll still see me probably hanging around in both of their streams. I still like both of them. I still will support both of them. I'm just sad that it's over.
On me over money, and I
So
don't
sad.
want you to resent me. You know what? Let's just do the split. And he took a lower split. Like, he didn't have to do. He didn't even have to give us a split, and he still bent over backwards to say, "I want you to be happy over everything." So that's the
Guys
dude
are just
I
talking
know when
about
it comes to
previous
behind the
splits that
scenes
they've
money.
gotten.
Yeah, look, when I work with people, and if I'm making money, they're making money. So, you know, Mahler and Ryan, they got a split too when we were doing our show. These boys, they're not getting a split too. So it's not just like, hey, let me bring
think
on
that's
people
fair.
and I make money and you know, hey, thanks, see you later. No, if we're all gonna eat, we're all gonna eat, right? If we're all bringing entertainment, we're all gonna bring entertainment. I'd love to address this. Theory, can you address the fact that you put no effort into Nerd Theory? I don't understand where this comes from. You know, I worked really hard to build my channel to get to the platform it is. And I had a show with Mark. And when Mark...
So what people are addressing in this question here, and I don't think he really understands what they're asking, but they're kind of talking about the last 2 weeks specifically, where it looked like he was kind of just sitting there. Josh was the one who was driving the whole conversation, coming up with the topics, making all the stupid no girls allowed shit, and, you know, doing all the, you know, favorite characters, and like, you know, he needs to do gimmicks and stuff for them to talk about because there's nothing to talk about in Star Wars. And I think that's part of the problem. They should have just not gone live at all. But I don't think Thierry was very interested in some of the conversations, so he kind of looked like he was sitting there bored. He's going to talk about something here that is kind of irrelevant to the conversation, really, honestly.
left, he positioned Josh and vouched for him. Josh had maybe like 10,000 or 15,000 subscribers at the time. Brought him on, platformed the shit out of him, and we had a great show together. And he got money, and we were splitting the cash. We were splitting super chats. I encouraged him to make a plus channel, to a clips channel, to monetize the clips from the stream as well. Which, who else is going to do that? You know,
This is a
it's
good
like
point.
it's like you get a guest from Joe Rogan making their own clips channel and then clipping the shit out of Joe Rogan's podcast. It's like, what? Not to say I'm Joe Rogan, but it's like, what that doesn't happen.
It's valid.
So I feel like I've been extremely fair and generous on all accounts. As for no effort, I don't know what you mean by that.
I can clear that up.
If there's no value added on my end, then he should be wildly successful on his own, and he shouldn't need me. So there's no need for me in that case, right?
There's an argument that he is successful, and to be fair, he is. Like, some of his channels do quite well. Some of his live streams do better than Thierry's. Some of his videos do more views. It's just the way of YouTube, you know. There's ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and, you know, some videos pop off, some videos don't. But I think, you know, obviously Thierry has a bigger following. He obviously has more views total, and I think without Thierry, Josh would not have 230,000 plus subscribers on his channel. you can see even after this whole debacle now, Josh's live streaming channel's losing hundreds of subscribers, and you know he might lose more if he keeps going on about it. I think he's going to keep losing more. I think he had 51,000 subscribers a couple of days ago. He's down to like 50.7, and it is probably going to continue to drop if he keeps fucking around. So, I think one of the guys here says it, or I think it was Geeks and Gamers actually said it in a video I was watching earlier. He was like, lean into it, make a joke of it, or just let it fucking go. You can't just keep going on like this. Make a meme out of it or own it and just move on. You can't just keep dragging it along because you're just going to make people more angry and more angry. And like honestly, after watching this video, I'm kind of less in Josh's camp because, again, I don't want to watch this whole video, but he kind of starts talking about how when they first reunited, Josh wanted to introduce him to a manager, and they wanted to start getting sponsorships on the podcast on Nerd Theory. Josh wanted to monetize the shit out of it to get more money and stuff like that. Like, and Theory very clearly says, I come here, sit down, talk to my friends, and I don't give a shit if we get no super chats. And that's probably fair. And I went on and looked at the viewership for the first episode, their return episode, and it has 55,000 viewers on that video. Now, I don't know what that equates to in ad revenue. It's a long video, so, retention and ad revenue is probably quite high on that video. I don't really, I'm not fully understanding the YouTube game, but, I'm not a big creator myself, so I don't really know how much money 55,000 views gets. I'm sure it gets quite a bit when it's a 4-hour-long video and people are watching every minute of it, So, yeah, I don't know, like, Theory obviously could be bringing in 20 grand off that video, so 500's nothing to him, but when Josh is bringing in, now, to be fair, for the first episode, they probably, again, if I'm sure someone will go and calculate all the supers if they want, but I'm sure he made more than $500 on the first stream, is the point I'm making. And if he made less on second and third, the big streams are going to return. Do you know what I mean? When there's big Star Wars news, if there's a new trailer, if there's some big fucking news like KK finally leaves or something like that, of course there's going to be a big stream, lots of donos, all that sort of shit. So, I don't know. I think Josh got impatient and he did get a bit greedy. People are calling him the den of greed and all this bullshit. Like, it's kind of sad, honestly. But, people aren't wrong.
If you've seen a decline in my energy on the show, it's because of so many things behind the scenes. You've only seen a glimpse now. I've seen this version for years and years.
This bit shocked me, honestly.
And listen, I am a firm believer in not airing private matters or drama, at least now at this age. And I like to just be professional. I don't feel the need to run to Twitter 2 seconds every time I have a private conversation with somebody.
Facts. I'm the same.
Especially when it used to be friends or business or whatever it might be, right? You leave it at that. But I haven't been interested to do the show for a long, long time. And the fact that Josh left the show years ago with, an hour notice after 4 years of doing the show together, once he made his quota on his comic book, it left a really bad taste in my mouth, and I found it to be extremely disrespectful.
This is very
just
fair.
For everything we had and everything that I did for him.
Completely
for years.
fair.
And everything he did.
I was fuming at Josh when he did this. I was so pissed off because, again, Theory's 100% right here. Drops with an hour's notice. See you later. Never coming back. Going to focus on my comic. By the way, which is still like what 2 years ago, and it's still not done. There's supposed to be 5 chapters. They've only completed 2. Comic book was meant to come out a year ago. I was meant to be getting like a hoodie, the hardback gold edition, all this fucking shit. Dropped in like $250 on the Kickstarter, and it's 40% done.
Did for me too. And
then Josh jokes about buying himself a fucking Range Rover with the money, like, and I'm just like, he probably did fucking buy a Range Rover. Now he, probably earned that money himself through YouTube. That's fine, but like, don't crack a joke like that when you've collected 90,000 fucking dollars off your fan base, and you're making jokes that you went out and bought a car with it. Like, that's just bad taste, man.
So
I love you, Josh, but you're a fucking idiot sometimes. What are you doing?
There was a lot in between there where he wanted to come back and he brought in a manager and he wanted to essentially monetize the shit out of the show by having endorsements and product placements. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. And that's why there was a big gap between, hey, we're going to do the show to nothing. Because I'm like, I don't want to do the shit. So then he came back. We did a few shows together. And then all of a sudden, boom, within an hour of the show again, he wasn't happy with
I can't
the
believe he
split
did it
that
twice.
he got because he got paid at the end of the month. And we hopped on the phone. Some words were said for about half an hour. And it got pretty ugly. And what you saw on stream is, a fraction of what he was like on the phone with me. And
Yeah, that doesn't
I
sound
stood
good for
firm and I
Josh.
said, no, this is ridiculous. You're taking advantage of me now. And so I have no interest in doing the show, and I haven't for a long time because the energy was just weird. And I just didn't want to. So, if that's what you mean by putting no effort into Nerd Theory, it's like, listen, the only reason I was doing it was because so many people would come up to my booth and say, hey,
This shocks me as well. Like, he didn't want to do Nerd Theory. Now, if you watch the first episode, he's always like, "Oh, I'm so happy it's back. It's great to see you. It's great to reconnect with my friend." And they met each other in real life and everything. And it looked like they were genuine friends. I was so happy to see all that. It was great. And now he's kind of turned it around and saying this was all bullshit or this was all a lie. And I don't know what to believe here. I don't know if he's just mad now or sour or whatever, or if this is how he really feels the whole time. That opens a kind of different can of worms, if I'm being honest, because it's like, were you being fake this whole fucking time? That's a whole different thing. But I think he's just angry right now. I think Josh is ripping the piss and he's just getting a bit pissed off. Every single question he's asked, like, again, I haven't watched this stream's like 3.5 hours long. I haven't watched a lot of it. I think I got about an hour in. And most of the questions are talking about Josh. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like that for the next little while. So I'm sure he's just fucking pissed off. And the fact that Josh burnt the bridge twice is just crazy. Crazy.
really love that show. I really enjoy the show. I have a dark time in my life where I come from work or I'm on my whatever route, and that show has really uplifted me. And so I put aside my differences or how I feel, and I did it for my audience, for the people who like the show, for the people who come up to the booth and I look into their eyes and they're just so happy about the show. So I did it. But I didn't like it. I wasn't happy. And I'm definitely not happy now. So that's the truth of the matter. All right. And there is so much I'm leaving out. But I would like to be professional, and I'd just like to move on. And I wish the guy the best. And that's that. So let's just leave it there and move on to this show, this channel.
I'm gonna leave it there for this, but if you want to watch, I'll link the full video if you want to check out the stream. But they do. Obviously, people keep asking questions, and they kind of go in and out of it between talking about some other stuff. And Josh, our theory goes to the depth of saying stuff like, I'm not friends with the guy anymore. The show is completely dead. It's not coming back. I don't watch his fucking streams. I don't watch any of his videos. That friendship is dead and buried. So he's gone to like. Josh has literally burnt that bridge fully now this time. It is over full time. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, we can have a discussion in the comments below if people want to talk about it. The video that I posted before this had some good conversations in it. A lot of back and forth. Some people on Josh's side, a lot of people on Theory's side. I hate to say it, but today, as I'm recording this, Josh is looking a lot worse in my head than he was in the first video. Again, I'm still gonna watch him, but it's just sad. It's sad as a fan to see that there's so much shit going on in the background that they just couldn't make it work. It's tough, and some people are, Josh is joking about it on Twitter and stuff like that, and not everything is as it seems. He's kind of joking about the whole Stranger Things situation with the two actors. There was a whole thing where there was there was meant to be like a kind of like a harassment suit against David Harbour from Millie Bobby Brown, and then the two of them are seen the next day on the red carpet, and they're all hugging and happy with each other. What do we believe? And this is if this turns out to be like just some mad PR stunt, I'll be probably more pissed off than if it's actually real, to be honest, because I hate that shit. If they turn around and oh, we worked it out, we're coming back, and it was just a thing for engagement, fuck that. I really hope that's not the case. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you're still listening to it, I'll see you in Nerd Theory, or I'll see you in the Den of Nerds, and I'll see you in Theory streams. And yeah, I won't be talking about it again. But if you want to listen to some other podcast shit, you can come and follow this channel. There's no drama. It's just chill. It's cool. Anyway, bye. Hey guys, this is Finto. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe and like, and let us know in the comments what you think below. See you in the next one. Bye bye.